Hello and welcome to all my subscribers. And if you're not a subscriber, what's wrong with you? Today I wanted to just talk about when you're starting out learning a language. If you're a beginner and you've never learned a language before, I want to go through sort of 7 or 8 tips that you can use. So the first one is to know why you're learning the language in the first place, and let that be your motivation. Because if your desire is strong enough, it will create and inform your ability. You won't need outside motivation if your internal motivation is strong enough, right? So as Sun Tzu said, know the enemy and know yourself, and you'll be successful in 100 battles. Now, the next thing is, don't overwhelm yourself with resources or obsess about resources to the point where you've got to incorporate every morsel of every course to perfection. In language learning, basically, I found the perfect is often the enemy of the good, and having a multitude of resources to choose from gives you the problem that you don't know which one to select. So have a think about that before you start piling on the resources. Now the next thing is just be consistent and persistent. So being consistent with your studies will help you win the game. Being persistent keeps you in the game, even when you can't be consistent. So persistence is every bit as important as consistency. Now, when you can't put in an hour of study, seek out something else in the language, a song, flipping through the dictionary, a couple of lines from a poem or a quotation that you like. And this is what we mean by persistence. It's easy to quit, but harder to come back. The longer you stay out of the game, the more difficult it is to return back. So being consistent and trying to study every day is, the thing you want to do. But if you can't study every day, just try and do something. Be persistent about it. And then try and master the basics of the language that you're learning. So French pronunciation, or learn conjugation or verb tenses or word genders and gender agreement, and basic grammar and basic vocabulary. You get that stuff down pat and know it before you sort of move on to the next thing. And then have a plan. Not overly elaborate, massive plan down to the detail minute, but most successful learners have found that there is a plan that works for them, and it keeps delivering, and that's what they're going to do. So they just work to the plan, even if the plan is something simple like, I'm going to do a half an hour of study every single day, right? And learn from legit polyglots. So make sure these people know what they're talking about. Incorporate what they say into your own method, so that what works for them will work for you, right? And study a lot of them. So don't take the word or the method of any single polyglot, because what works for them may not work for you. You're an individual. But if you look at 20 or 30 people who've learned multiple languages, and you take their advice and incorporate that into what you're doing, then that is going to help you. And conversely, take the advice of well-meaning monolingual beginners with a grain of salt, because they haven't done it and they probably don't know how to do it. And then the other thing is, have fun. Don't forget that. Play about. Even super beginners, there's fun to be had. You can memorize a poem, learn a joke, memorize a quotation, or learn to sing a song. You can do word finding puzzles or look up puzzles. You can just sit in a room and try and learn all of the words for everything that's in your field of vision, right? Something or anything, as long as it's just a bit of fun. So seek out some fun when you're doing some learning, because it'll keep you going. And then listen from the very beginning. From the very beginning of your studies, listen to podcasts, movies, films, audio, any audio. Get it, listen to it. It will help you with the language. And finally, don't follow any of this advice if you don't want to. because it's your learning and it's how you do it, and it's completely up to you. So develop your own method of how you're going to learn a language. Don't take my word as gospel, and don't take anybody else's word as gospel. You are the individual who's learning the language you're learning. So get advice, sure, but work out how you want to take that advice and do it yourself. All right, if you like these sort of videos, please like and subscribe, and I will see you later.